Football is just about the most American thing ever, with literally 3/4 of its entire population identifying as a football fan. Of course, by football, I mean the one that you don't use your feet for, and by America, I mean these little states in this chunk of America. At this point, we've got 32 professional teams in the NFL and hundreds of college teams on all sorts of levels, which has helped establish football as the sport to be a staple of American culture with millions of viewers per game. Americans are constantly involved in the games, scores, players, teams, and every little piece of drama to do with any of it at all. Because in America, that's just what you do. The Super Bowl, or the biggest yearly football event, is coming up tomorrow, and with one of the main men of the Chiefs currently dating the biggest artist in the world right now, Taylor Swift, this is looking to be one of the biggest events in football history, at least in viewership, and a great way to cap off this version of the sport and make room for the all-new Football 2. Listen, the rest of the world isn't really thinking about American football because they just prefer their own sports. And honestly, Americans don't really think about the rest of the world at all. So I'm gonna attempt to fix this problem by creating an all-new version of football that's significantly more exciting to play, analyze, or just chill out watching anywhere in the world. This is episode 2 of Fix the World, where I fix the entire planet one thing at a time. And you guys commented some really great suggestions for this video, so let's just get into it. So while we start, I think there's a couple things to keep in mind as we develop this more and more. First, the games take so long with so many breaks. 2, the rules are really complicated compared to other sports. And 3, it's gotta be exciting enough to reel in a worldwide audience. So we'll just start with some quick and obvious changes. A clear option to make this worldwide would be to use the metric system, which is worldwide, instead of yards that are essentially limited to just the United States. However, the football field is already 100 yards long, not including the end zones. That's pretty dang big, and if we convert it to meters, it would be even bigger, like it is in a few other countries. America did technically make this game, let's give them credit and let them use their system. Now you might think football is overall a balanced game, it is, but there's one thing that is total luck: the coin toss. It's basically a 50-50 chance which team gets to start with the ball, and I do like the idea of replacing it. But I think the most fair thing to do, considering the players, is something athletic. What's the most basic athletic competition? A race. Quite genuinely, there's already a track laid out very nicely for them to race on. So at the start of the game, each team picks one player to run across the field as fast as they can. Whoever makes it to the end first gets to decide whether they start with the ball or not. And it has to be someone that's a real position in the game. They can't just add super fast people to the team just for this reason. Coin to race. Now the game clock is currently a huge problem. Football games only have a 1-hour game clock, but when you add in the replays, commercials, halftimes, and people just standing around, there's just 11 minutes of actual game happening. This is real. That's just the grossest ratio of action to duration in any sport. But I think a fix that will make this universally better is making the time between plays just 20 seconds rather than 40. You might think, oh, they need time to rest, they're working so hard. No, they're athletes. Look at any other sport, soccer, basketball. They're in go mode unless there's a dedicated break like a timeout or a flag or something. If they get a little tired, that's just part of the game. And I'm being lenient here, come on. Cool, now I'm just gonna get right into the biggest change that'll instantly tackle our priorities by making the game so much more exciting. We're adding a bonus ball. Yes, I'm serious, I've thought this through very well, please hear me out. The main ball will function exactly how it does in regular football. Keep this in mind. You still have 4 downs or plays to score or get to the next line and reset the downs. If you don't, possession of the ball goes to the other team, all the same as before. The bonus ball will have a few main interesting differences though that will severely make the game more interesting and unique. Real quick, it's obviously gotta be a different color. It could be anything, but pink isn't used very often and it stands out pretty nice. So how does it work? If one team has possession of the main ball, they also have possession of the bonus ball. In a play, once the main ball is snapped to the quarterback, the bonus ball can also be snapped to a secondary quarterback, who also tries to pass it forward to their teammates. If the main ball gets passed beyond the
first down line,
then it's back to first down and they get more tries to keep going. If the bonus ball gets past the
first down line,
it does not matter. It does not affect the actual downs of the game, but it can score points in a few unique ways. If a player with the bonus ball manages to get all the way to the end zone, it's a bonus touchdown worth just 3 points or half a regular touchdown. But there's also 2 mid zones added on each side between the 20 and 30 yard lines. If you get the bonus ball in either of these, then it's also 3 points. Getting the main ball in here doesn't do anything for you, only the end zone like normal. I know there's some concerns with this. Don't don't worry, I'll get to all of it. So the bonus ball might seem like a totally overpowered system for the offense, but like regular football, if you score, then it instantly turns over to the other team and they have the ball. So for example, if the line of scrimmage is right here, red team could get the bonus ball into one of these zones, but they'd only get 3 points as opposed to the potential 6 or 7 at the end zone with the main ball. But not only that, if they get a mini touchdown in one of these zones, then the line of scrimmage is instantly at the 30 or 70 yard line for the other team that's now moving towards the opponent's side. That means no kickoff unless there's a touchdown in the actual end zone with either the main ball or the bonus ball. So you might be wondering, what's the point in getting the bonus ball to the end zone if it's worth the same amount of points as getting it to the mid zones? Let's say the red team's offense is at the 5 yard line, going for a touchdown with the real ball. They could do that normally and score a touchdown, getting the 6 points, and get the bonus ball in the end zone to score a bonus touchdown in the same play. That means they would get 6 points for the regular touchdown and an additional 3 for the bonus ball, giving them a total of 9 for that one play. After they score any of those points at the real end zone, they have a chance for points after touchdown, or PAT, just like regular football. They could kick the main ball at the 15-yard line into the goal for an extra point, or go for a 2-point conversion where they do another play from this 2-yard line to potentially score an extra 2 points if they make it in. This is slightly changed where again both balls are involved. And if they score with the bonus ball, they get an extra 1 point. They could score with just the bonus ball or just the main ball, meaning there's a potential 3 points to be scored, thus becoming the 1 to 3 point conversion. There is one extra PAT though, allowing you to kick the bonus ball from the 35-yard line into the field goal for a potential 2 points. The bonus ball can't be used for regular field goal kicks though, and getting a mini touchdown does not give you a chance for points after touchdown. Let me write some of that out. I know it's confusing. So you can score 3 points at the mid zone with the bonus ball, 3 points with a field goal from the normal ball, then 3, 6, or 9 points at the end zone, then 1, 2, or 3 points after they score a regular, double, or bonus touchdown. And by the way, just like how you scored 9 points in the end zone with both balls, if in a single play you get a mini touchdown and a real touchdown, that's totally fine and you get 9 points as well. This means the max amount of points per possession is 9 for the main stuff and 3 for the PATs, which is 12 points. I know this is getting confusing, just hold on for a second and I'll give you some examples of how this plays out. The main ball has priority over everything, and that affects a few things specifically that it's worth going over. If the main ball got intercepted by blue team, that plays out normal where the other team can run to the other side to score some points, but while that's happening, the bonus ball is still active and can be scored with. Until both balls are down, the play still goes on. Once the play is over, it's blue team's ball unless they scored, then it would be red team's ball and they'd get a kickoff. Now the opposite can happen too. Say it's second down and the first ball gets stopped right here. While the bonus ball gets intercepted, it can be scored in either the real or mini end zones, giving blue team their 3 points, and simply moving on to the third down where the first ball landed. This means it's obviously very good for the opposing team to be intercepting the ball. They can essentially score free points without messing with the down system at all. But if they don't score, the game moves on and the interception was pointless. And just as a fun side note, a single player could hold both balls. It's way riskier and it's hard to catch both, but it is allowed. So let's run through a quick game scenario with our rules so far. The score is 0-0 and the red team has possession of both balls at the 50-yard line, first down. They snap both balls and instantly get a good catch and decent run on the bonus ball, going past the first down line at 35 yards, where this player gets tackled. While at the same time, the main ball only gets to the 45-yard line. The players reset and the line of scrimmage is now at the 45-yard line where the first ball dropped. And at least for this round, the bonus ball didn't contribute at all. Within 20 seconds, they snap both balls again. They toss the bonus ball but let it drop so that this receiver can run over and catch the main ball all the way over at the 25-yard line. I realized I didn't put these at the right spot. They're now first down at the 25-yard line, and while they still use the bonus ball in the play, they cannot score it at either mid-zone because that would just be too easy. If the line of scrimmage was anywhere past here, it would not be allowed to score in the mid-zone. They snap the balls and make an amazing run to the 10-yard line with the main ball, which normally would mean a first down being past this line, but this receiver isn't paying attention and runs all the way into the end zone with the bonus ball, meaning they just scored 3 points, losing out on the 6 that they could have got with the main main ball. But now they move on to the PATs, where they can either kick it or go for a 1 to 3 point conversion at the 2-yard line. They snap the balls and manage to get both of them into the end zone, meaning +2 and +1 additional points on top of the 3 that they already scored, which means they scored a total 6 points for this possession, and it's now the blue team's ball. Then here's another quicker scenario just to clarify another rule later in the game. It's 50 to 47 points with Red slightly behind, and just a minute left in the final quarter of the game. Red has possession of the balls right here, and they end up passing the bonus ball into the mid zone, getting a mini touchdown. This of course ties up the game, but blue team now has possession of the ball right here, and with 30 seconds left, they have a chance to score, but they don't quite make it, meaning it's time for overtime, where the two players race across the field to decide who starts with the ball. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. It'll be a crazy strategy switch up for the entire sport, and it's obviously much more offensive with 2 balls involved. This of course means the points are going to rack up significantly, but this is the perfect chance to get into Football 2's bonus features. For these players, points decide if they win, and therefore how much money they make. But what if we made it so the points are the money? Introducing power-ups. A few of you suggested some form of these, but my idea is that you spend the points you earn in the game to gain some sort of advantage, which could get you even more points. Now, the fun way to do this would be adding Mario-type abilities like super jump or speed or something crazy like that, but that's obviously not a real thing that we can implement. So I came up with 3 power-ups that can really happen and make a real impact on the game. If you trade in 5 extra points, your team is allowed to have 1 extra player for a whole series, meaning 1 possession before a turnover. But this isn't any old player that's joining the team. It's one of the most iconic parts of the NFL itself, the mascots. These guys are crazy athletic, doing flips and stuff, all in these bulky animal suits. They could totally kill it on the field. Not only that, they can play any sort of positions they want. They can tackle, handle the ball, do whatever. Having the extra player would be a good advantage, but you better pay it off by getting a touchdown, because that 5 points is a big risk. Then the second power-up simply lets you add 1 minute to the game clock if you exchange 2 points. This is barely any time at all, but the cost is less than the points that you'd get from either touchdown or a field goal. I know we wanted to cut down on the time, but an extra 1 minute wouldn't be bad at all, and it would only be for really tense moments. And the last power-up would cost 3 points to reset it to first down. Doesn't matter which down it is, if you're on offense, you could spend the points for a little more chances to score some more. There are a couple main limits for the power-ups though. Each team can only use 1 of each power-up per game, and they can only use the power-ups if they're currently winning the game. That way it's more offensive, less defensive, more fun. Except for the mascot, you can do that whenever. Listen, I know we said we didn't want a lot of rules, but this is just so much cooler. But there was one thing that you guys wanted me to fix above anything else, just the actual name football. This is obviously way too confusing with soccer still being around, and a lot of you guys wanted hand egg because it makes more sense, but I think that sounds kind of gross. So I think the simplest thing for us to do is to simply call it football, which I guess could also be pronounced football. Here's future me taping some of this onto the globe, which is a tradition for this series that is just getting started. But for the next episode, what are some emoji that need to be added to our phones? Let me know which ones you would add and why, or just tell me what else I should fix and you can make an appearance in the next videos. I see those comments easier if you're a channel member. Thank you guys for the support. So don't miss out, you better subscribe.